venture for a moment because I'd like to talk about dreams. Not as like a psychologist or anything. I'm not about to hold up Rorschachs and ask you what you see in the ink blots and try and tie it to like some trauma from when your high school bully put your head in the toilet and flushed it. I want to talk
Good,
about dream
because that's a
jobs
reoccurring dream for
specifically.
me.
Because 20 years ago, if you asked a child what their dream job is, you'd probably get some silly things like a professional ice cream tester, getting paid to try different ice cream flavors.
Yeah.
But now, if you ask pretty much any kid in the world what their dream job is, all of them will probably give you the same answer: YouTuber. Or more broadly, online content creator, so streamer, YouTuber, things like that. And it's a dream job for more than just children, obviously. There are people of all ages that very much want some kind of online presence as a career.
When I was a kid, I think for me, my silly one was a video game tester, play tester.
And it's just become a very sought after occupation. There are more people hunting after an online career than there were assassins hunting after John Wick. And the reason I mention this is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's recently been a rise in the frequency of large content creators expressing burnout, as well as just being completely miserable by the content creation grind, needing to take long breaks, or just outright announcing that they're quitting altogether. In fact, that's what we're talking about today. That's the subject that I want to go over because Tfue just made a very heartfelt video saying goodbye to his audience, talking about how all the decade plus long grind he's been embarked on has kind of made him feel like his life is slipped away from him. He doesn't regret any of his choices, but he recognized that he spent the majority of his life just behind a computer screen and wants to really finally feel free to live the life that he feels will be the happiest for him. So he
Hey,
made
bro, like at a certain point, once you reach the top, and you can, yeah, go ahead and step away, my dude. You're done. The grind is over. Like you did it. Like what else is there? Like I'm not saying just stop forever, right? But you did it. You got to where you were supposed to be. You grind. You did the grind. At a certain point, the blade is sharp enough. Do you get
made
me?
this video, which is kind of like the ending credits to like a
Take some time for
franchise
yourself. Yeah.
finale, where it just goes over the best of moments throughout his life online. And he says that he's kind of just hanging up his hat. He's retiring the jersey number. He's stepping away from streaming and making content. If he doesn't know how long, he says he'll likely be back at some point, but it won't be for a long time. Again, if he ever does come back at all. And this isn't
Oh,
the
so this
first
is like he's making it very known that he may come back, he may not.
big content creator to say something like this. And just within the last week, PewDiePie also recently made an announcement about how he finally feels free from the content grind now that he lives in Japan. He's got his baby. Like, there are a lot of examples of this over the last year alone of huge content creators
Bro, move to Japan? I want to move to Japan. Are you kidding me? Well, I don't know if I want to move there, but I definitely want to go visit
that are
very
just
soon.
kind of ready to move on from making content online. And I wanted to go over why. Because again, this is a dream job for so many people.
Yeah.
And this is something I've always said, and I'll once again scream it.
Like my whole thing, and I just want to make sure my point on this is clarified, so you guys aren't like, as far as all this goes, like I treat it very much like a hobby. It's something that I do wish maybe someday could become a part-time. Maybe someday it could become a full-time. I don't know. I'll never know, right? But I'm as of right now, I treat it like a hobby. I treat it like just something I love to do. It's freaking fun. It's awesome. You know, like a lot of people play video games to de-stress. I stream to de-stress. I freaking love doing it. Even if it's a bad stream, you know, what's a bad? I haven't really had a bad stream, but every once in a while I have a stream where somebody just comes in just to harass me because I don't have a whole lot of viewers at the time. Totally fine with it, my dude. I freaking love it because it's like, I don't know, it's entertaining to me. I'm definitely the kind of guy who makes a lot of people on the internet like rage at me like as well. Like let's say there's somebody who just really like, I'm not gonna give too really crazy examples, but like, you know, sometimes there are some people who take the game way too seriously on Call of Duty or something, and I tend to piss them off by by doing annoying little things that I know is gonna annoy them, and so I'm not like adverse to conflict when it comes to like speaking, debate, stuff like that. When it comes to physical confrontation, physical like conflict, I don't like it. I freaking like just not my cup of tea. I've only been in one major fight like when it comes to physical stuff, so I'm not so much. But when it comes to just chatting on the internet, just talking, debating, discussions, actual words, I'm very comfortable with that when it comes to that. I'm not good at socializing like at all. Freaking screw that. I hate talking to people. But in general, and I feel like a lot of it has to do with the fact that I used to work as a manager, so I'd have to be able to sort of like keep my calm and try to what's the word, diffuse the situation with a lot of like angry customers and stuff. So that probably has a lot to do with it as well, you know. But but yeah, so it's like my point here was that it's something I just like to do, no matter what. It's fun for me. It's de-stressing. As a matter of fact, that's why I'm debating switching my schedule up so I can start doing daily streams, but for less hours, which we'll talk about in a bit. But like I don't know, it's just fun to me, and I really don't see a world right now. And I know I'm very early on in the grind. I don't see a world where I would stop doing it. I think it's just something that I want it to become a part of my everyday just agenda, I guess, or my everyday whatever that word is. I'm freaking blanking out here, but you get what I'm saying. I don't mind it being just a part of my everyday process and just as something I do on the daily. It's just fun to me. It's entertaining, just the same as everybody gets home and maybe wants to crack a beer, watch a movie, or watch the game, or watch the whatever. Like that's just what it is to me. That really is what it is. It comes down to. But that is not going to stop me from trying to take it as far as I could possibly take it. But even if it's not successful, if I don't get a lot of audience, if I don't whatever, I'm still gonna keep doing it. I just like doing it. So that's kind of my whole mentality on it. I'm just letting you know because I also want to make it very clear that's my mentality on it. So when I say burnout, when it comes to people getting tired of doing the grind and getting tired of doing the same thing over and over again, dude, totally understandable. You can't. Some people just you get bored. You get bored. My hope there is doing stuff like this. I watch videos at the beginning of my streams because I want to get into the mood before I actually start getting some gameplay in, So it is what it is. Well, and who knows? I'm constantly trying to find different things to do. Like I want to start doing karaoke with you guys. I want to start watching old movies with you guys. Stuff like that. And that's why I'm trying to little by little figure this stuff out. And like, yeah, if doing like 4 to 6 hour streams daily instead of doing 8 hour, 10 hour long streams, then I might just start doing that because it'll give me the liberty to like change one of those days into karaoke, change one of those days into a movie night, to make this particular day a Twitch only because we're trying to watch a movie or an anime. I want to watch anime with you guys. I think it would be freaking sick. But depending on the platform, that's going to be different. Who knows? Like we'll see. And then that's kind of where I'm at right now. I can totally understand people who are getting burnt out, especially once you've but I would say to most creators and most people, try to variety is the spice of life, my dude. Try to do a little bit different stuff. But once you actually get to the top, you actually get a huge fan base. You get the monies. You get the stuff. I see no problem with people either retiring or just taking the time off that they need. Like you've been grinding for so long, bro. You need a vacation. You need to just get away from it. You got to not worry about it for a little bit.
From the mountaintops here, being a YouTuber or a streamer is the luckiest position you can ever have, and in most cases is legitimately easier than 9 to 5 jobs outside of the internet or other positions that exist outside of the internet. When you are an online creator, for the most part, you get to choose your own hours. It's very flexible on what content you're making or what you really want your online footprint to be.
Yeah.
You are in control for the most part, which is a luxury.
You're self-employed, basically.
99% of people in the world don't get to experience. So how could there even come a time where someone's just like really tired of it or made miserable by it? And I kind of just want to look at that. Because it's not like these creators are geriatric now. It's not like they spent 40 years in the industry and they're just finally ready to just say, kapui, I'm done here.
Yeah.
These are still young people. Tifu's 25 years old. He has been online for over a decade, though. PewDiePie is in his early 30s, and he's been online for over a decade as well. So they have been in the industries for, pretty much since the infancy of this whole space.
Yeah.
But they're not, super old. So how does it get to the point where they're just really that done with it at such a young age? That's what I kind of want.
Well, that's the thing. They've been doing the same thing for a decade, like you said.
In Tifu's video, it's a very honest and open look at what his content creation journey felt like, where he was streaming all the time, making videos all the time, and he felt trapped by it. Now, he does mention something that many people aren't going to sympathize too hard with, and I understand why. He mentions that having to stream 6 to 8 hours a day every day was brutal and draining. And a lot of people will recognize that that's kind of just normal 9 to 5 job hours.
Yeah,
Like, that's less than 9 to 5 job hours. And most people don't have a job that they love or a job that's fun, like
that's
playing
kind of why
video
I
games.
really
And
like
certainly
the
not
idea of the
making
8 hour
millions of
stream.
dollars playing video
Uh,
games for the
but there's a
6 8
specific
hours of the
reason why I
day.
want to drop
So
the
it's
amount of
something
hours,
that a
and
lot of
I'll
people kind
discuss
of
all that
roll their
again
eyes
later.
at, and I do get it because again, it is a dream position. However, it doesn't like nullify his feelings on it being forced to play basically 1 or 2 games or basically just one type of game forever, otherwise viewers drop off, being forced to never really take a break because then you lose so many subs. Like, it is still a draining thing for sure in a different way. You kind of become a prisoner of consistency, or else you risk taking a big hit to your income for the month. So it is a mentally damaging thing to feel forced to do shit you don't want to do for a long period of time, which I'm sure a lot of people in the normal working world can also relate to. Let me give you a quick example. I stream daily, and I've streamed daily for the last 6 or so years. However, 2 months ago, I had to take 4 days off. Well, it's not like I had to take it. It wasn't like a fucking government mandated vacation or anything. I
Yeah.
usually will only take like
Okay.
maybe 1 day a month if something came up and it was too late to stream. So very rarely will you see me not online for 4 days in a row. That's apocalyptic vacation time for Charles there. That's that shit where the audience got concerned and like, damn, we might need a search and rescue team. Like, Charles might be in
His
trouble here.
family
This could be
trying to get in
a message, a
contact.
deeper message. So I had 4 days where I didn't stream in a row because a lot had came up and I just really wasn't able to. And when I did come back, I
Okay.
lost 8,000 days where I didn't stream in a row because a lot had came up and I just really wasn't able to. And when I did come back, I lost 8,000 subscribers. 8,000 subscribers out of the 20, I think it was 26,000 subs I
8,000,
had at the
dude.
time, just vanished in an instant because I took 4 days off from streaming. And I
Yeah, to some people, that's already that's a detriment. They need you to.
1,000 subscribers out of the 20, I think it was 26,000 subs I had at the
That's interesting, dude.
time, just vanished in an instant because I took 4 days off from streaming. And I still haven't gotten them
Do you think that's just like all 8,000 of them thought he was just never going to stream again or something?
back. It's not like they all just came back once I was online again. Now, this isn't some complaint or pity party here because I recognize how unbelievably lucky I am to be in the position that I am. I am one of the luckiest people in the world to be able to do what I do.
All right, I'm gonna have to. I don't know. If it's the VPN. What is causing the slowdown here?
So this happening wasn't like some kind of shock or something that made me upset or anything like that. This was something I absolutely knew was coming after 4 days off because I'd seen it happen to so many other large creators. This was one of the main motivators behind.
All right, that's kind of weird. I'm gonna let it buffer a little bit here, but Ooh, sorry, I'm still a little bit sick. But to that point, yeah, no, I can like. There's definitely quite a few people that if you're not absolutely on top, on point, on top of your freaking schedule, like that's like as far as they're concerned, like you stop streaming. That's the end of your channel. You're never coming back. So who knows? That might have been a lot of people who are either newer, newish. Like I'm not too sure. Uh, but it's such an interesting environment to start to get into and see why people stay, why people leave, why people would want to go. It's an interesting one. And that's kind of, and like for the same reason that I'm sure he's having this issue, I'm trying to effectively uh change my schedule to meet a certain demand as well. So while like it is detrimental for them to miss 4 days on my situation, since I only stream 3 days out of the week, and it's like spaced out weirdly because I stream on Wednesday and then I stream on Friday and Saturday. And I'm trying to change that so I can have a much more steady schedule, hopefully doing Mondays through Friday streams, you know? So it's kind of a strange one. It's a weird one. Yeah, it's interesting to see from the bottom of the mountain, see what's happening at the top of the
To be
mountain.
in the position that I am. I am one of the luckiest people in the world to be able to do what I do. So this happening wasn't like some kind of shock or something that made me upset or anything like that. This was something I absolutely knew was coming after 4 days off because I'd seen it happen to so many other large creators. This was one of the main motivators behind Ludwig's subathon, if I remember correctly. He took like a week-long vacation and lost like 10,000 subs and kind of panicked to try and get them back and did the subathon. I remember Tyler1 made a quick a quick statement on stream after a short time off where he's like, "Man, I lost 15,000 subscribers," and this is just something that happens. If you're not there every single night, basically on streaming, since the online audience is always frothing at the mouth for content, they'll find other streamers elsewhere to fill that void because it's such a competitive space.
Yeah,
Maybe they come
yeah.
back, maybe they don't, and maybe they do come back, but they don't have a Twitch Prime, right? Like, there's just so many things at play that do ultimately have a big impact on the person's income when they're a streamer, which is why you very rarely see streamers take a long vacation, or even if they do take a vacation, they still stream during it, because it's kind of scary not to, because even just taking one day off can result in a drastic decline overnight, basically. So for Tfue to talk about this, like, I understand the perspective where if he wasn't streaming every single day, and I know he had a Twitch contract, so he also had minimum hour guaranteed that he had to hit, which I imagine was probably like 160 or maybe 180 hours would be my guess, but I'm just speculating. If
Yeah.
he's not doing that
Okay.
every single day, it's hard to make up those hours, and it's also hard to hold on to his audience and that subscriber base. So it could absolutely be a really mentally.
Oh, why the video footage, dude? This is a panic too, because actually, I'll take this time off to say it as well, and you guys can, if anyone in the I'll repeat myself a little later as well, but while this buffers, yeah, no, it's a little scary, and I get that because I had the same exact mentality. I actually needed to cancel this week's stream for Saturday, and I might be ending Friday's stream a little bit early. Not only because an emergency came up, but also because I kind of want to start seeing if I can implement my new schedule already. So I'll repeat this as well before we get into gameplay. But the schedule that I'm trying to see if I could potentially switch over to, or sort of test out the waters and see if that might work a little bit better for me, was going to be 4 to 6 hour streams instead of 8-hour streams. Do 4 to 6 hour streams and do that daily, Monday through Friday. And there's a reason for that, and that's because I'm trying to get back into my part-time job, and depending on which offer I get that's better between two places that I've applied to, my schedule is going to change drastically depending on those. So I kind of want to put myself in a position where I can stream on 5 different days of the week, and Saturdays I'll probably do like a unofficial stream, more than likely every once in a while, and just sort of like take that little bit of extra in between, figure out that stuff around my life. But it's an interesting one. I would love to keep it at 8 hours, but again, it just depends on my day job. And I'm sure, like, for a lot of people, that's and like, for the, or rather, not for a lot of people. I guess what I'm trying to say is, for the vast majority of people, this is like that moment where you really have to think about, like, if I decide to set this schedule, I'm gonna need to make sure I follow it to the T, because if I start changing stuff up again, like, it's not gonna, like, it's gonna be a loss of even more subscribers, or a loss of even more views, because you're changing things up. Your schedule is now different, and people who come to watch me on Saturdays might not be able to watch me on Saturdays anymore. So it's something I have to really put a lot of thought and effort into, because it could potentially be a very lifelong change, dramatic change for the channel.
Shitty thing to go through. So I understand why that would be frustrating and make him feel like, he can't really set aside time to do other things that he wants to do outside of streaming. And in the video, he said something that I think is a really interesting look at how the perspective shifts once someone reaches that level and is kind of trapped doing the same stuff. He said that in the beginning, gaming was an escape from reality, but now reality is an escape from gaming for him, because it's now just become something that he is completely obligated to do and isn't finding enough joy in anymore to make it feel like he's spending his time in a good way.
I get that, and I made a big point about this the other day as well, where it's like, chasing the meta can get so boring, dude. That's why I want to make sure that no matter what else, if I'm playing a game, it's because I enjoy playing the game and I like the game, and I just don't find myself wanting to, like, I'm not gonna bring any like, man, I gotta play this game. Like, I don't want that. I don't want this channel to become a chore. That's boring. So I try to avoid
Now, he's
anything
in a
like
very
that.
fortunate position where he has generational wealth. He has oodles of clams,
Oodles of
millions upon
caboodles.
millions of dollars that he
Nice.
can use to live his life to the absolute fullest and do the most thrilling shit imaginable if he chooses to off the internet. And I think he recognizes how lucky he is because there's countless people that would love to just leave their 9 to 5 to be able to explore what makes them happiest. And that's
Oh yeah,
fundamentally what
absolutely.
Tifu's doing. He's just in a fortunate, lucky position that he is financially secure enough to just step away from his job, his career. And this video is just letting his audience know, like,
That's
guys, I
awesome.
really appreciate the support, but it's time.
I mean, sorry, I'm still a little bit sick. It's awesome that he's able to do that. And there's no judgment on him. Me personally, I'd reduce the hours more than likely, and I would like just try other unique things that I haven't tried before on stream. Sort of see if I can spark back that same feeling. But I can totally understand like a nice decent vacation before you do that.
Time to move on to the next chapter of my life, which I think is a totally respectable thing. Now, this is a question I get asked a lot, and especially more recently because of so many YouTubers doing things like Tifu is, making these announcements about very long breaks or all this burnout that they're experiencing, or just outright calling it quits. I've been getting asked if there's ever a period that I plan on stopping, making videos or streaming. Because I've been making shit online since 2007, so it's been a good 16 years here. I actually started in 2006, but I've told all those stories quite a bit. I'm not just gonna give you the lore dump yet again. But, I'm starting to get a little gray in the face here. So is there ever a time where I just plan on calling it quits? And my answer is always a resounding no. Me making shit online is what makes me happiest. I have always been doing this shit because I have fun doing it. It's never
That's
been like an
awesome.
obligation for me or something I feel forced to do. I've just always done it purely for the love of it. So I couldn't imagine it.
Again, the two people that I think of similarly in this instance, of course, is the two streaming Jesuses, Charlie here, and of course Asmongold, where I am totally fine with admitting that these two dudes probably inspire a whole lot of my streaming, as well as of course a lot of VTubers that I watch. But where it's kind of like, look, man, I just want to do whatever I find fun during the stream, and if you have a problem, I know some people. Again, I've had it the other day too. Some people were like, "You're not playing the game. Why are you watching videos at the beginning?" It's like, because I freaking want to. Good freaking, I'm going. So that's what I'm gonna do. I wanna watch videos. I wanna watch funny videos or be like see stuff that's happening around the internet, and I wanna freaking. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, and I'm gonna do it. Like that's it. Like that's I don't know what else to tell you. Please join me. It's freaking entertaining for me. I hope it's entertaining for you. And if not, I'll make you laugh later. Like that's I tell jokes, I do stuff, like, I'll sing and dance with a monkey, man. I'll do karaoke later, We'll see. Like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is, whatever it is, whatever I'm doing, I want to make sure it's fun. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it. It just really isn't.
Where I just hate it and, like, get made miserable by it and need to step away or something like that. But I always understand people who do. And I think one of the main contributing factors to that I've discussed a lot is when a creator gets kind of pigeonholed into one type of content and they feel like they can't branch out from it, it leads to them getting really made miserable by it, feeling forced to keep doing one thing forever. No one wants to do the same song and dance a million times. Eventually they want to try other things, but online, taking that step to try other things is extremely scary because it comes with a really real risk of losing a lot of your audience or making things that they won't enjoy or, just driving people away. And that's your entire career. That's your livelihood. You can't really take chances like that for a lot of creators. So it's always a very difficult thing to do, but I think it's the most rewarding thing as well. Because there's very few people that will be content making the exact same thing that they've been making for a decade. It takes a very strong mental.
Dude, I don't know. This is the first time I'm using Opera GX with so many YouTube tabs. I didn't even realize I was playing them on a low resolution. I wonder if that's the setting I can change. Is that the VPN that's acting up on me? I gotta figure something else out. I don't like that.
To keep doing the same shit.
Let's shut it off for now.
Without wanting to try other things.
See if it makes a difference.
A lot of creators.
It makes a world of difference. Okay, you know what? It might also have to. Wait, do I have NordVPN turned on? I might have NordVPN turned on.
They feel like they need to, and I think that's
wow, that loaded up way faster. Way faster.
Needing to take breaks because the endless grind monotony of just doing it all day after day, this fucking same stale routine gets to be draining. So I really think that a lot of the big contributing factors that make other creators burn out, I don't really have myself, because I do such an incredibly large variety of content and so much different
And that's why
shit.
it's so important
Like,
to
literally, we just started
make
a
it
wrestling
very
league, our own
clear that
wrestling
you're going to be
promotion a
doing
few
whatever
months
the
ago that
frick
we're
you
going
want to
so
do.
hog wild with. Like, we're constantly doing new things. I'm constantly trying different types of content, doing all kinds of wild shit. So I just never really experienced that. Now, of course, I can't speak for like 40 years in the future here, but I just don't really envision a time where I'm going to stop having fun making things. So right now, I don't foresee a future where I just call it
Yeah,
quits on
and
creating content or
it
anything
brings
like
up this
that.
amazing
But
point, or this
again,
good
with
point
all of
about
these other
whether,
creators that are talking about this, I really
like, if
do
you're
get
doing
it
a
from
lot of
their
this
perspective on how
for
it gets to that
fun
point. Even
or
with a
because you
job
like doing it
like
or you find entertainment
YouTubing or
value in it,
streaming, a dream job.
I feel like
So
you're
yeah, I kind of just
probably
want to
not
go
gonna
over this whole
you're
topic
probably
here.
not
I'm
going
wishing
to burn out quite as quickly. Whereas if you're doing this specifically just for money, and it's not what you're getting out of it, for the very vast majority of the beginning, then I feel like you're gonna burn out a lot faster.
Tfue the absolute best, and I hope whatever he decides to do now post content creation is something that makes him extremely happy. He deserves it. Everyone deserves to pursue what makes them happiest, and Tfue is in a lucky position that he gets to do that. So wishing him the best, and
Absolutely,
anyone
dude.
else that's recently
Tfue,
at
I
this
hope you have
place
yourself a
or
wonderful dude. That's
calling it quits on
absolute.
content creation. I hope
Like,
whatever they
that's it.
choose
You
to do
can't. You
next
gotta be
is
happy, dude.
something
You
that
gotta be
makes them
happy for
feel
him.
very happy.
The dude
So
made
yeah,
it. He
I
did.
just
He
wanted to
made the
talk about it. That's
grind.
about it.
He made it happen. Same thing with PewDiePie. They had the grind. They made it happen. They were the kings for a while. Now they get to just step back and enjoy what they've earned. Enjoy what they made. Ayoo, be sure to join the crew. Please like, follow, and subscribe. And hey, if you like that video, you should check out this stuff.